Hey everyone, Tony George, DocSports.com, your Monday morning quarterback, your fireside chat. This is just something we're going to do here in lieu of a opening line report. We will start that next Tuesday, possibly this Tuesday when it comes to the NFL, but I just thought I'd share some thoughts with you and take a look at some of the takeaways we had from week one in the NFL. We'll start with Thursday night. Tampa Bay 31-29 win over Dallas. This line shot up to like 9.5. And I know a sportsbook manager here that took a $200,000 bet on Tampa Bay about 15 minutes for the game kicked downtown on Tampa Bay at 9.5. So, Dallas is going to put up 28 points a year, 28 points a game this year. They have the offense to do it. And Tampa Bay's defense at home, allowing 29 is an indication they're going to be a buy sign, this year. Probably on totals, on the overs, just FYI. Tampa Bay will straighten out some of the things that ailed them the other night, and they will be consistently strong in their division. Big time. That's going to be a battle between them and New Orleans. Pittsburgh over Buffalo. The big play was Buffalo. Especially on a lot of teasers, and they got crushed. I left them out of a teaser this weekend, but Pittsburgh as a team, defensively, I said last year, was second in the league. And I warned everybody on my Sunday free pick video, which, by the way, stunk on Atlanta, but I warned everybody, Pittsburgh's defense is no joke. And, you give Big Ben a little time to warm up. He's still got some magic. And he's got receivers that can make circus catches. They are a tough out for anybody and a contender for that division, and yet they were getting 6.5 points. I thought that was a stay-away game for me. Buffalo's got some work to do offensively, but they still could win that division. Maybe Miami's the team to beat. We'll talk about that in a minute. Jacksonville, 21, Houston, 37. Jacksonville's defense is in big trouble when you give up 37 to Houston. Lawrence, they threw 51 times. He had 3 picks, 3 touchdowns. Rookie debut on the road. What'd you expect? Houston was a big play there for a lot of services. I passed on Houston plus the number, and I took Miami as my only loss, or New England as my only loss yesterday, so I'm still kicking myself, but Jacksonville is going to be a work in progress. Getting over 4.5 wins, or their win total is going to be very difficult. And Houston is enjoying basking in the limelight of a victory. That's going to be rare this season. The biggest surprise yesterday to me, 2 surprises. This was one of the biggest ones. Arizona 38, Tennessee 13. Arizona was one of my contest picks at Circa, but I did not expect that type of game. Tennessee's offensive line looked terrible. That's going to be a problem, especially when you have Derrick Henry at running back and you can't block. But Arizona also is improved on defense. That NFC West is going to be an absolute, just a drama show every week. Every team in the NFC West can make the playoffs. I mean, they're a playoff caliber team. And I thought Arizona's showing yesterday was probably the most impressive that I had seen. Offensively, defensively, just an unbelievable effort by them, and something that kind of raised my eyebrows a little bit. They're a team you're going to want to keep an eye on, and they covered the spread by 22 points. New York Jets, about what you expected. Carolina, a little disappointing, only 19 points against the Jets. Jets were down 16-0 at halftime. They're going to be a team that might compete a little bit. Carolina, you've got some issues. I don't know what to think of. There's still some takeaways from week one where you're scratching your head, and Carolina's one of those. Jets, they're going to be the whipping boy of the AFC East. Minnesota, Cincinnati. Minnesota's defense continues to struggle. Cincinnati won in overtime. Cincinnati is a team that's going to compete with people this year. They have a lot of good players. Their quarterback is good. Their running back is good. I thought their defense played fairly well. They gave up 0 points in the first and fourth in the first quarter. They gave up 10 points in the fourth while only scoring 3. Needed to square that around. But Cincinnati's going to be a team getting big numbers you're going to want to keep your eye on. Minnesota, I don't know. I mean, who's going to win that division? I mean, you basically have 4 bad teams, and Green Bay look bad. We'll get to them in a minute. The Chargers and Washington. Washington lost Fitzpatrick first series or second series of the game. That hurt them. Defensively, they're strong. Herbert looked very good. Washington is a team that's going to grind it out in low-scoring games all year. Keep that in mind. That under went under by 10 points. Here's the game that really surprised me. Yesterday I gave out a free pick on Atlanta. I had a 6-unit play on the under in this game. Top play on Sunday, which covered easily. I was not a big Jalen Hurts fan, so the takeaway from this is Atlanta really that bad? Or is Philadelphia really that good? I mean, you can leave comments in the comments section here. But Atlanta's in big trouble offensively. And I don't think Philadelphia's that good defensively. I just see Atlanta having trouble on both sides. They played as poorly as anybody out there yesterday outside of Green Bay. San Francisco, 41-33 over Detroit. San Francisco was a survivor pool pick for me in the circuit contest, and I was on pins and needles in the last minute and a half of that game. They dropped their guard, and that's a good example of something in the NFL you always have to worry about. Now, they got the cover, but it wasn't easy. You can't let your guard down in the NFL. You can't protect the lead. You can't rest on your laurels because all these guys are pros. And, Detroit showed me some things, especially in the second half. I thought that were good offensively. They kind of got to clicking. Their tight ends were really good. Goff's going to be serviceable, but when your defense gives up 41, you're not going to win many games. Miami, New England. Miami a lot better than I thought they were. I'm going to say it. Tua had a decent game. I thought defensively they were very good. New England breaking in a rookie quarterback. Turnovers killed them in that game. They had a couple of them inside. One inside the red zone and one inside the 30. You can't turn the ball over and win games, especially against good teams, and that was the story in that game. Seattle, Russell Wilson continues to be Russell Wilson. Colts are going to be a work in progress right now. Only 16 points. Seattle is, again, NFC West team that's going to just be unbelievable. Denver played a good game against the Giants. I had the Giants yesterday as a pick in Circa Millions. Very disappointing. Daniel Jones continues to fumble the football. He reminds me of Adrian Martinez for Nebraska. Lots of talent, but just makes bad decisions and turns the ball over at the wrong time. And I think that's going to plague them. I'd be warming up I don't know who their second stringer is right now off the top of my head, but I'd be getting him ready. Denver, I thought Bridgewater played well. They got a lot of threats. Denver's defense is really good this year. Last year they were beat up, and that's something you want to keep your eye on. This thing barely went under the number, but by I think 1.5 or something, but Denver's defense is going to be formidable and it's going to keep them in games. And unlike Drew Lock, Terry Bridgewater is going to lose a lot of games for you. He does have a tendency to fumble the ball under pressure, but he took care of it yesterday. Cleveland, Kansas City, my boys. Had Kansas City in a teaser, and that was in jeopardy for a while. But Kansas City finds ways to win when they were down at halftime there, 22-10, and came back and outscored them 23-7 in the second half. And Kansas City's going to do that. You give them an opening, and they can strike on one play. You saw it. Busted play. Mahomes rolls out. You got Hill running around. If he's got time to throw it, they're going to beat you. Cleveland's going to be a good team this year. They can run the ball extremely well. I think their defense is solid. They had some breakdowns yesterday. They had a lot of trouble with Kelsey. They're going to have to shore that up, but Cleveland's going to be a tough out for anybody, and they're going to be a playoff team, in my opinion. Last night, Rams over Bears, no surprises there. Justin Fields is not ready for the NFL yet. He's getting closer. You're going to have to get along there with Andy Dalton for a while. Matt Stafford, I've said this many times, one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. If he'd have been on any different team other than Detroit the last 11 or 12 years, he'd probably have a Super Bowl ring. And he's got a lot of weapons around him, Kupp, Woods, good tight end, good running game, good defense. The Rams are a team. They were a big survivor pool pick for a lot of guys. And the Bears just struggle. The Bears can run the football. Montgomery's a great running back. If you got him on your fantasy team, you're going to be happy. But, they're going to be a work in progress and maybe a 500 team at best. And Nagy's on the hot seat there. And finally, Green Bay, all the drama off the field with Aaron Rodgers actually is wearing a little thin. For me, I keep white noise out of handicapping. But at the end of the day, I think Aaron Rodgers, they just got waxed. But it wasn't just Aaron Rodgers. There was a systematic breakdown across the board on every facet of the game for them yesterday, including coaching. This was a team that their coach got his rear end coached off by Sean Payton. And they had a defense that made Jameis Winston look like Joe Montana. That's a concern. Couldn't run the football. That's a concern. Aaron Rodgers looked lethargic, unmotivated. I just think all the white noise off the field has affected this team, and this team was supposed to contend for that, that division crown. And you've got 4 teams right now in that division that suck. Is Green Bay, who's going to get better? Bears, Vikings, Lions, or Packers? Because somebody's got to get better. And right now, the team furthest behind the 8 ball, in my opinion, is Green Bay. And that's the problem. And you got, on the other side of the coin, don't take anything away from New Orleans Saints. They've been away from home. They played down in Jacksonville. They executed perfectly. Winston looked good. They got a lot of playmakers. Their defense played very well. I think Green Bay was easy pickings. There's going to be tougher games, but this is a team that's going to contend with Tom Brady in that division. Big time. Right up there with them. That's going to be very interesting. And, of course, the Monday Nighter's going off tonight, so we don't have any opinion on that one yet. We'll be back starting next Tuesday with the NFL opening line report, where we'll slowly recap some of these games. But at the end of the day, we will delve into a little bit of what happened last week and what to look forward to the current week when it comes to the opening lines. Doc Sports, free $60, thumbs up, subscribe, all those good things. Had a good weekend overall in football, plus $1,530. We won Saturday, we won Sunday. Both cards turned a profit, and we cashed both 6-unit picks we had this weekend. Week 2's upon us. Time to get to work.